Tonight on Sunday, 16 years on, can he get her walking again?
Couldn't walk.
You couldn't stand up?
No, I was bed-bound.
A man with an unbelievable promise.
Once I start with her, she will be able to walk again without any help.
Our cameras follow a remarkable journey.
If she wants something done, she'll do it.
Are there some things that science just can't explain?
I think always be things that we don't fully understand even through science.
Aha! It is moving.
Kia ora, I'm Miriam Makamo. Mike Ansari is making an extraordinary claim. He has no formal training, no medical degree, but this personal trainer says he can get stroke victims moving again. People like Shirley Ness. A stroke 16 years ago left Shirley unable to use her left arm or walk without support. Encouraged by Mike's results with others, Shirley agreed to 3 months of therapy and let Sunday follow her progress. What we saw was quite remarkable. Here's Peter Williams.
The power of the mind is limitless.
He's promising the extraordinary.
I'm on for it.
Can he do it?
I told her that once I start with her, she will be able to walk again without any help.
Are there some things that science just can't explain?
And I was getting the girls off to school one morning and I got up off the bed, fell head first onto the floor and had this big, I couldn't talk.
16 years ago, Shirley Ness had it all. A Greek husband, 3 young daughters, an idyllic lifestyle on a Mediterranean island. That life was destroyed, literally overnight, by a stroke. You couldn't stand up?
No, I couldn't do anything. I was bed-bound, let's say, because I couldn't walk, couldn't do anything.
With 3 kids to raise, island life became impossible. Something had to give, and it did. So you made the decision to come back to New Zealand with your husband?
No, I didn't. He doesn't like New Zealand.
So was the stroke part of the reason that your family, broke up?
Yes, it was.
Alone and disabled, Shirley returned home and got on with raising her daughters. She a pretty determined person anyway?
Very. Very determined, very stubborn. An old lady. Oh,
She's always been like that?
Yeah. If she wants something done, she'll do it.
But what Shirley really wants has been out of reach for 16 years since her stroke. She's had therapy with little results, she says.
I'd like to be more mobile.
So you'd like to walk without the stick?
Yes, without the walking stick.
One leg is almost useless, her left arm unusable. What about that left arm? Can't lift anything?
No, can't hold. No.
Can you feel anything with it?
No.
So if you put that hand in hot water, wouldn't feel the hot
I
water?
usually burn it on the oven. It gets burnt on the oven.
I told her that once I start with her, she will be able to walk again without any help, and I can help her to reconnect, to regain the feeling in her leg and arms.
Enter Mike Ansari, Les Mills fitness instructor and self-help guru. A man who says he's developed a remarkable stroke therapy that his patients claim can produce life-changing results.
But I had a walking stick in December, I threw it in the wardrobe, and I'm now walking without a stick. If you said to Alan Sendles back in January, you're going to be jumping off the ground by July, you would have said... I would have said, tell me another lie.
So you're a different man, huh?
Totally different, yes, yes.
OK, food for thought, you might think. But wait until you meet Erica. After a serious stroke 2 years ago, she was left partially paralysed, one leg unusable, her hand twisted and useless. She did have therapy, but the results weren't startling. Until Mike Ansari turned up with his blend of motivation and physical therapy.
Oh, well done. Relax. Go, 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 go. Aha. Yes.
He always said, you can do it, you can do it. And I thought, oh, I was angry.
Now can you believe she's even back driving a car? So who is this Mike Ansari? Part martial arts grandmaster, part spiritualist. He arrived in New Zealand as a refugee from Iran 23 years ago.
I arrived Christmas Eve. Beautiful evening. I'll never forget.
He lives in West Auckland with his wife Mercedes and young son Ahuda. And now he's turned his talents to healing. So, Mike, the people that you've worked with so far, what did their doctors or therapists tell them about their chance of recovery?
Actually, almost everyone of them has been told that that's the condition that they are going to live for the rest of their life.
Yeah, and that's a very difficult thing to hear. You know, that does take away hope, doesn't it?
Associate Professor Kathy Stenier is part of a unique experiment by Auckland University to bring scientists and doctors together to push the boundaries of stroke research.
It's frighteningly common. It's one of the world's leading causes of adult disability. There are about 6,000 strokes in New Zealand every year and roughly 50,000 Kiwis living right now with the effects of stroke. A percentage of people will actually die from the stroke. They won't survive it. That's about 10 to 15% of people. Another third will be quite badly disabled and will need sort of 24-hour care after that point. And the remainder, it varies. You know, some people have amazing recoveries from stroke.
Now, Mike says he can get you walking, he can get you jogging, he can get you running. What do you think of that?
I'm on for it.
So, is Mike Ansari for real? Could he help Shirley Ness to walk without a stick again? To regain the use of her arm after 16 years? Our cameras are going to follow along as he attempts to do just that. Can you wiggle your toes, Shirley?
I can't do anything with the toes.
What's going to happen first is the legs getting warmth coming into it, and you feel a blood stream rushing to your leg, and then you feel a tingle. When we get to that stage, then I will ask you basically to move your toes. See? Now it's coming. We'll see. I can feel it. Let's go. Because the muscle of your foot hasn't moved for that 14 years, I want you to think about the time that you used to move your toes. What was that? You feel it. You feel it. Wow. You feel it now. There you go. I tell you, your big toe already moving. Do you feel that? Yes. See? Move the toes. See, look at that. Look at that. It's moving, Peter.
We've seen your toes move, Shirley. When could you last do that?
I haven't been able to move my toes since my stroke.
And that was in 1998.
1998.
16 years ago.
Try you move your ankle. Yes. Yes, there we go. Perfect. High five. Perfect. Perfect.
It seems a miraculous start. But what would an expert make of all this?
But your brain can keep changing for the rest of your life.
We ran our footage past stroke scientist Dr. Kathy Stenier. So is this physical treatment or is it mental treatment?
It's actually quite a hard question to answer. It's a little bit of both. You know, clearly he's touching and he's asking Shirley to really think about her foot, the way it feels, and in a second he'll probably ask you to imagine moving that foot.
In your mind, picture when your toes were moving.
What happens is your brain is actually activated during imagined movement the same way as it is during real movement. So it's a very powerful way to get the brain working again.
See? Move the toes. See, look at that. Look at that. It's moving, Peter. Look at that.
It's pretty neat.
Is this necessarily, though, revolutionary stuff in science?
No, I wouldn't say it was revolutionary, but it's incredibly hopeful. You know, it's still really valuable because what it reminds us all of is that even years after stroke, there might be things that you can do that you don't know yet that you can do. And with the right kind of input, you can find them.
Bend your knee. There we go. Look forward ahead. Thank you.
3 weeks later, we caught up with Shirley Ness again. Mike Ansari has been working with her nearly every day.
You want to go quicker? There we go. You can go quicker.
That walking stick has long gone.
You feel as if you can walk much easier?
Yes, I can feel much easier, more confidently as well. So it's exciting. And I just want to get out there and walk and walk and walk and walk.
The power of the mind is limitless. So I use that power to create a confidence which is overcomes the matter. Stay wide, that's it.
He doesn't have a formal education in something like physiotherapy or sport and exercise science.
Nice.
It's a happy accident that what he's doing coincides really well with what we know now in rehabilitation research, the power of things like imagery and action observation and sensory input and the importance of motivating and encouraging people. You know, all of those things, he's brought them together in a way that does seem to be, you know, have some effectiveness for these people. So he personally has certainly discovered some things. Those things exist already out there in the research and in practice.
Couldn't do this 3 months ago, could we?
3 months after she began treatment with Mike Ansari, we visited Shirley Ness last week for her verdict.
So how does that make you feel, the fact that you can now do a little bit of arm wrestling? Is that pretty cool?
Yeah. It shows getting a bit of arm strength.
Yeah. So what's your outlook on life now? Do you feel a happier person?
Life is good. Getting better all the time.
What do you think the future holds for her now?
The future holds everything for her, I guess. She'll do real well, and if she continues with therapy and stuff, she'll do real good.
What's the song called?
Play Bouzouki Yamena.
16 years after the stroke that destroyed her life with her family on a Greek island,
When did you last do this?
Shirley Ness can enjoy a little of that old Mediterranean magic once again.
Isn't that exciting and lovely to have Pete Williams on the show too, and dancing.